flaw. Fight like a winner. Fight like a winner. Yeah. Fight like a winner. Fight like a winner. Fight like a winner. Fight like a winner. No, I ain't perfect, but I got a purpose. Fight like a winner.
What it do, what the business is, this is Reverend Dre. Welcome to Freethinkers Radio. I'm just saying, Dre taking the word to the streets. We have an interesting topic for you today. We're going to deal with life coaches. Are they life coaches or are they life encroachments? Yeah, have they stepped into lanes that they're not authorized to be, or are they valid, you know? It seemed to be a phenomenon that has been on the rise, I think, maybe about the last 10 years. It seemed like they popped up out of nowhere. And so I'm going to offer some balance to the presentation. If you're trying to reach us or get at us, you can reach us at www.imjustsayingdre.com, www.imjustsayingdre.com for any speaking opportunities or purchase of products and books and what have you. And so we want to open up our show today and welcome my guests into the studio with me. Today I have Miss Tiffany Singleton and Mr. Kevin Rasberry. Let's welcome them to the show today. Welcome, guys, to the show.
Glad to be here.
Okay, Tiffany, real quick, give us a brief introduction to who you are and what you do and what your business is.
Okay, so my name is Tiffany Singleton. I do have experience in the coaching and counseling industries. I have worked in the private and community-based sectors for 11 plus years. I have a passion for working with people, and I absolutely love helping people meet their goals.
Okay. Somebody else? Oh, somebody's phone on. I can hear it. There it is. Okay. And Kevin?
Kevin Rasberry, I am consultant of Legacy Ed. We are a nonprofit community development corporation. We are a business development, community development, and affordable housing organization.
Okay. Well, today as we prepare for the show, man, I wanted to take a balanced approach to it. I'm prejudiced. I'm prejudiced because I have my opinions about certain things concerning life coaches. But what I want to do is just open it up to my guests first and let y'all start before I drop what I feel about this particular phenom that has come upon the earth. All right. All right, so who wants to go first? All right, you know, it's generally ladies first. So
always.
Tiff, since you've had some experience in the coaching field, please tell us about you and then tell us, you know, what your interest was in coaching and why you do it or don't do it at this premise or this particular time. Go ahead.
So actually I have done life coaching in the past, maybe about 3 or 4 years ago. And that's generally because I really enjoy helping people. You know, a lot of people come and they say, well, I have this goal, but I'm really just not sure how to get there or what I need to do. So basically that was just very fulfilling to help somebody be able to reach that goal, whatever it was, whether it was weight loss, whether it was obtaining a new job. I will pause here just for a second to make sure everybody fully understands what life coaching is. So life coaching is generally a process or a meeting with an individual who is generally healthy in nature, emotionally, physically, mentally, and they just need help reaching a goal.
So you're referring to the client.
Correct.
Is the healthy one,
that
fairly
is correct.
Healthy and has a goal or objective they're trying to reach. Okay, that's good. Thank you.
That is correct. So we want to just distinguish that from being actual counseling. So life coaching deals with the present and the future, whereas counseling can deal with the past. So that's the difference. Now, why I do not do life coaching anymore is because I found that in doing the coaching, you find that most people, they come with one surface issue. But once you start talking, you realize, oh, wow, gee, there is something really more deeper beneath the surface. And so what happens is you go into the counseling sector.
You cross over.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. And with that premise in mind, if you cross over into an area that you're not qualified for, do you have the courage to say, I need to refer or I need to back off because this is beyond my pay grade?
That is correct.
Okay.
So if you are life coaching and you are not licensed to do therapy or counseling, mental health counseling, then you need to let the client know where that boundary is and refer them out.
Very good. Very good. Kev, what's your take on it?
See, that's where she cleared a few things up.
Okay.
For people, well, I need to announce that on my timeline first of all.
Okay, that's very good. That was very good.
Yeah, because she distinguished between the two.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so my issue is when that doesn't happen.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying?
No, absolutely.
When you got somebody in crisis and you worried about being paid.
Right.
You know, and so you're there. These folks are delving deeper into the depths of depression and whatever else they're going through. And, you know, you playing along like this is what you do.
Right. Yeah. This is what you trained to do.
You know, and so, you know, I've always, you know, I'm biased because I seen how hard my wife worked to get where she is as a licensed counselor. No joke, that test, all of that.
Right.
And, you know, my man, Aaron Ashford, you know, we've often talked about this. Aaron is a therapist and a coach.
Yes.
And so he uses one to kind of empower the other.
Yes.
So, but when you talk,
but he's trained to do it.
He's trained. And so,
choo.
That's right. But when you got these folks that are misleading people, I have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Because eventually, you got to deal with it.
Yeah, eventually.
Right?
But then watch this. Even in my dealing with it from the spiritual aspect of it, I still have to come to a premise to say now I needed to defer to a Jermaine or to an Aaron or to a Tiffany. You know what I'm saying? Because some things, matter of fact, I have a young man that I was sharing with recently. I had to tell him, man, now you need something deeper than what I can offer you. Not that the spirit doesn't cover. The spirit covers, but there is a mental wellness piece that has to be ministered to, that has to be adhered to. And I'm just happen to be one of the preachers, I'll do it like this, that believe that mental health and spiritual health go together.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was one thing that I wanted to make sure that we distinguished in our minds. I think at the Ayanna Van Zandt came on the scene real strong, fixed my life.
Right.
You know, I thought some people saw that and went, I can do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know, Facebook Live didn't help any because some people automatically they got their audience that's captive, and now all of a sudden they can go to work and fix people's lives or mess people's lives up.
Right. And you know, and people used charisma to seem as though they are well talented in that area. I like I said, I mentor all the time.
Yes, that's what we do. Got you.
But my wife will tell you, and I'm sure I inundated her with that. I get to a certain level with these kids, with these boys, because I work with boys.
Right.
And so, but it get to that point where they say, I hate my mama. Or my daddy, if I ever see him, you know, my brother's this and that and other thing. Whoa, wait a minute. Stop.
Yeah.
I got to get some work done before we can move forward. Because mentorship is only coaching with a different name.
Yeah,
that's right.
Exactly, see,
that's good.
That's the reality of it. That's the reality of all of us do certain levels of coaching to a degree. We just have to know where our lanes stop.
Absolutely.
Okay, when to hand off to someone else. And you have to be secure enough within yourself to bag out.
Right.
As Tiffany was saying.
Right.
Okay, what was happening at that particular time when you recognized that it was delving off into something else because of your clinical background that made you pull back from that the coaching aspect?
Well, I'm also able to do both coaching and counseling.
Right, you're trained in that too. You're certified. Okay.
So in my mind, it's like kind of a waste of time for the coaching piece when truly you need to be over here on the counseling piece.
Okay.
Because once we do the counseling piece and everything becomes whole again, then we can move to the coaching piece.
Okay.
Right. So what you said, what I've been saying for a very long time, is that therapy trumps everything.
It does.
Right? And so, but here's the problem though. Here's the issue. You have people who careers got derailed. You know,
you better not.
Yeah, I'm going there. I'm going there.
I told you I had a place I wanted to go.
I'm going there.
I dare you.
I'm going there.
I dare you.
And so their careers get derailed.
Ooh.
They don't want to go back to school to get some more education. They don't want to be trained the right way by something going through this process.
The process.
So what it is they eliminate the process. They need to pay bills right now.
Yeah.
And so now let me take a few pictures in front of a microphone.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Let me
with no audience. With no audience.
Let me post on this Facebook Live.
Right.
And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rehearse what I have to say, so it makes it look like I know what I'm talking about when all you did was practice. And so now when you get something in, all you really doing is you using your life to try to sit here and outline somebody else's life.
Right.
When in therapy and in counseling, because I have a degree in psychology, so counseling is where you lead someone to come to their own conclusion.
That's right.
You don't sit here and tell somebody, I wouldn't stay with my husband if he cheated on me.
Oh, right. Oh, that's good. I'm glad.
I wouldn't stay. I wouldn't stay with him because you know what happens is once they cheat, they always gonna cheat.
Right.
Once they gonna do this, they always gonna do it. Let me tell y'all something. I'm about to blow it up because this is what I'm
mind you, we haven't talked.
Right.
Deliberately.
No. Yeah, he said the same thing.
That's right.
Here.
So here's my thing, right? When you talk about somebody who is quote unquote broken, right? They say most men are broken, because they got to cheat, they got to lie, they got to steal, and it's always in them. Let me tell you something. I think that you're a beautiful lady.
Well, thank you.
You have absolutely nothing to do with me.
Nothing.
Correct.
Nothing.
That's real talk.
My wife, Jermaine.
Gotcha.
All right. That's right.
So I'm going to look at you as a professional.
That's right.
Beautiful lady.
Got you.
That ain't for me.
That's right.
So there's no sexy. The problem with men, that second thought is what get them in trouble.
Gotcha.
All right.
That second look, you look and you look back. No, you look one time, acknowledge it. God, she pretty. Keep it moving.
Right.
Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying? Just because you got a woman, don't mean everybody gonna get ugly.
Right.
But see, when you get these so-called coaches that's talking to the women. Now, I'm just thinking if my wife wasn't strong enough, if she wasn't strong enough and somebody was in her ear, she would have said, you know what, this ain't gonna work, bro. This just because your past, man, we ain't gonna cut it. We just ain't gonna cut it.
All right, that's
But
good.
see, that's what them coaches do.
Hold up, let me go on.
That's good.
If you like it, then you should have put a word on it. Let me put a text on this right quick, because I've been waiting on this particular text right here.
Yes, sir.
It's in Timothy. 2 Timothy 3:6, but I'm gonna go real quick to the 2 Timothy chapter 3. Y'all go ahead and some agenda something else while I'm looking it up.
Yeah. And so Tiffany, the thing that I think that that needs to happen, we need a anti-coach person who's been both, who can recognize certain things, and so. The word tells us that if we went across somebody that could harm our brothers and our sisters, we're supposed to mark them.
Okay.
Right? Am I right or wrong? So when there's folks like yourself who can see
and do both,
right? Who can see that person misleading people, right? How can you step to them? Right, and of course you try to do things with tact and all of that type thing. Okay. But see, when you ruining people's life, I got issue with that.
Okay. Yeah. So in response to that, I've always told people it is not what you tell people, it is how you tell people. So I think that there's also a craft to being able to address people and give people your thoughts. If someone, for example, like you just said, if they were misleading people or doing something that was inappropriate from what I can sense, then I think I would approach that person and discuss it. Always have facts. You need to have factual information and say, okay, this is what this person said, this is what you did. When you can present a full case scenario to somebody and help them actually see it versus just generally saying, well, I feel, okay, that doesn't work. Right. But so I think it is the approach, and I think that person will be receptive to that and be like, gee, wow, I've never really looked at it like that. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Right. But if you go and be like, oh no, you shouldn't have told that person that, now you wrong saying you don't need to be nobody's coach.
Right.
Now, how do you think somebody's going to do that?
They're going to get defensive and defend it, even though they know they shouldn't be.
Right.
But here comes my prejudice. Here comes my prejudice, my honest prejudice. I observed this life coach thing, and there's a few men. I haven't seen many men. So when you mention Aaron, you know, I know him, so I know how he gets down. Right. But I've seen a couple of guys on Facebook that use the premise of life coach, man, as a cyber pimping scheme.
Sure.
Being flown into different towns and different cities by women for supposed conferences that never come into fruition. I mean, I had to defend a friend recently, you know, to a guy that was doing this, man, and it vexed the mess out of me because, you know, we all got game. Everybody got game. Everybody got game. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't talking about game, but when you come to the point where you trucking people and they ain't just invested their time, but their money and their resources, thinking that you're going to love them, thinking that you're going to, and you're doing this in every area code. Man, I'm like, God, night. And so my question was, I don't see many men doing it, and the men that I do know of are trained to do both. Like you said, the counseling and the I got a couple of guys, you know, K. Anthony is on my Facebook, Kent Fowler. I know him. I walked 5 years federal time off with him, but his expertise is moving young men from the prison system to society. You know, that's his coaching lane, and he's a beast at it. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then when I looked at it as it relates to the word, you have a lot of females doing it. You know, we can blame Ayana or you know, or some other things. But I think it's the premise, Kev, you said it. And you know, I think this way sometime, and I don't mean to, is many of them failed in ministry. You know, many sisters don't get to preach in church. So they decide that they want to do something that they could take upon themselves and not have the accountability, not have the, how are you a life coach without a coach? How do you have, you know, that responsibility without answering to somebody? Now, I know it's the same way in ministry, bootleg preachers and the same thing and no accountability. But this life coach thing is a new phenom because it's my lazy way of getting you to pay me and do, you know, and do what I want you to do. Because when you call yourself a life coach, I know a woman that was, she didn't call herself a life coach, she called herself a mentor. And I said, well, do you know your people? Your people know you? How do you mentor or coach me and I don't know you? I don't know your failures. I don't know your weaknesses. I don't know your strengths. I don't know how you, matter of fact, and I haven't seen you being successful at what you're teaching me to do. I haven't seen you be successful at what you're telling me to do. Okay. I'm trying to lose weight. Okay, now that's key. And you bigger than me. Right. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Right. But you're going to coach me in losing weight. Right. Right. You're going to coach me in earning millions, but you huh? You working 3 jobs. You understand what I'm saying? Huh? And so you're using me to finance your millions. But you're not depositing into me. And when you step into certain areas of my life, you overstep. You know, many of the women, and this is you know, the prejudice of mine. I could be wrong, and you know, y'all can check me, and I'm cool with that. But many of the women that I see as life coaches, watch this. Many of them are single. Watch this, and the ones that are married, run their husband. Yep. That's my prejudice. That's my observation. Yep. That's my view. And I've seen it. Yep. And anytime you hear the vibration of a man for real, it's offensive. And he's always insecure about your gift. The devil is a lie. There's a liar. Yeah, it's a lie. Come on. Give some feedback. So here's this. I didn't even put the scripture on it yet, but go ahead. Go.
Here's this, Tiffany. Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you, and this is what I equate a lot of female coaches. Okay. Nosy. They grew up nosy, right? They got to be in folk business. They got to know what's going on. They got to do this. But here, let me throw this kick in here too, because I saw a dude today that somebody was referring somebody to for counseling, and he's this supposed to be this guru life coach. No, dude, they don't go together. Stop that. Wow. Stop that.
Yeah, they don't go together.
So Stop that. You know him personally.
I don't.
Okay.
You just know that scenario.
Right. Yeah. Gotcha. I've seen it. Okay. You know, then you have people that broken people come in our inbox. Right. You know, hey man, I don't think I should have listened to so and thus and this, and man, I done lost my woman. That, you know, I know I'm the one who done jacked this thing up.
My God, man.
I done lost my woman because you telling me that God got better out there for me.
And that ain't what God told you.
When I wasn't even worth her.
Right. And no, see, that's that almost like that prosperity thing. Okay, go ahead. You're trying to get something in. You got to jump in here, girl.
No. Finish.
Go ahead.
Because I want to hear where you were going with that.
No, with the prosperity piece, it's almost like you tell people they can get something for nothing. You know, they don't have to invest. They don't have to be practical. They don't have to do anything to invest in themselves to make their lives better. And when I come to you, I'm not coming to you to fix my life, Ayana. I'm coming to you to help me with a particular area in my life that I fall short in.
Yeah, and certainly we can't just follow Iyanla's pattern because she is trained in a lot of areas. I think she's an attorney, she's a minister, and she's a therapist. So
that's what I'm saying.
She is rightfully
her chips are
walking
her chips are stacked.
Out. Yeah.
She's a bad chick.
So she's not just your fly by night.
Come on now, she didn't do that
and I
by
think
mistake.
a lot of people need to know that she has an extensive background.
I've been reading the books for years. In the meantime,
right?
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. But I think a lot of people, like I was reading earlier, they might be known. Okay, everybody has that friend where everybody goes to for advice. So if you're that person where somebody always approaches you for advice, you might be like, "Ooh, I'm really good at this."
Right. That's good.
I can be me a life coach and get paid. I'm tired of talking to all these people for free. I need to get paid for this now.
Oh, Lord.
That's the mentality. That is real. No, you smashed that for real. You smashed that for real. Let me put the scripture on it. But check out the scripture, yo. We always use it just for male preachers. But let me. I'm gonna flip it. Take gender out. Hear the context of this. 2 Timothy 3. You ready? But know this, that in the last days perilous times will come. For men will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boasters, proud, blasphemous, disobedient to parents, unthankful and unholy, unloving, unforgiving, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, despisers of those that which is good, traitors, headstrong, haughty, lovers of pleasures more rather than lovers of God. Watch this. Having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. And it says, from such, get away, run away. For of this sort are those... See, it didn't even say male or female, who creep into houses and leave captive gullible women loaded with sin and led about by divers or various lusts. I think that the life coach movement is one of those movements that can creep in and lead captive gullible people and take their lives where they want them to go, because you got a little person trying to make themselves big by being a life coach who prey on little people who want to be better. So they look at the life coach versus looking to the preacher or looking to something that's been established for a while, because even in the life coach, many life coaches don't tell you about God. Many life coaches don't touch spiritual things. They touch natural things. And because I just want to hear what I want to hear, it's easy to run after that. And if you look at the popularity now, April Mason is a beast. I've been tracking her for a minute. Tiffany Lewis, I've worked with her. She's a beast. You know what I'm saying? And I have some, but then there's some I've worked with and I watched them. You control the women's lives. That you control their lives.
Right.
You're stepping into areas that's not
you ain't got to listen to your husband.
Field.
You ain't got to listen to your husband.
Wait a minute. I only listen to your husband. You didn't talk them out of engagements. I hadn't seen them talk out of engagement, and that was the best that sister was going to get in that season of her life, at least. But she listened to her mentor, her coach. Wait a minute. Who has nobody?
Has absolutely nobody.
You know what I'm saying? So the spirit of envy and jealousy can creep in too when you see somebody that needs what you got, and you give them only so much to keep them dependent on you for years so they can keep paying you.
Yeah, but you got to think too.
Come on now.
Right? So here's the essence of this coaching movement.
Let's go.
The folks who spend the money are women.
That for the most part, yeah.
Right? So whatever product, whatever service that you put out there, that hook. Right? But again, I'm gonna mess you up because the biggest worst coach to ever open their mouth was Steve Harvey.
Oh no!
Worst coach.
He made money.
Worst coach ever, because that's all he did was make money.
That's hard,
right?
Yeah.
He gave you a little information.
Act like a lady, think like a man.
Okay. Gave you a little information for you to run with it.
Like no man.
But guess what? If you have never, think about this. I've never played professional football.
Right.
So there's no need in you giving me a playbook and telling me I'm going out here to play the Pittsburgh Steelers next week.
Right.
There's no need for you to give me that playbook.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to be successful because it's not just the playbook.
Right. It's the actuation of the game.
Everything.
Yeah.
Right? So you give tidbits of information of what players did or what players do. And now she feeling like she's armed to be able to deal with this man. Let me tell you something. And here's the setup. You like tall, light-skinned, bow-leg. It doesn't matter that he jacked up. That's what you're going to see. Right? What he gave you is going to be this roadmap that dude already know. So when you start playing that, brother, I know this game, I know that game.
Oh, man.
Okay, so he know I can't go through the front door. Let me go through this window and get to her.
Let me sit on the porch.
Yeah, I got her. Eventually, she coming out here.
Wait a minute. Wait till 90 days.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'll wait till 90 days.
She coming out here?
Yeah,
she coming out here.
Because she set me up to wait, so okay.
See, because she by herself.
Yeah.
I already look like what she want.
Got you.
All I got to do is wait out.
Wait a minute. She already sized me up. See, that's the thing, too, though. I mean, I don't know if we take a turn here, but that's the thing, too. Women know what they're going to do with you before they do it.
My wife said...
We act like we got game. Man ain't got game.
My wife said a woman puts you in one or two categories when she meets you.
Huh? Straight out the gate.
One or two things. Either you a potential or you not.
That's it. We wrong? Is that wrong?
No. See what I mean?
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Playing these games with these folk, but see, that caused so much controversy for relationships because sometimes we can see what's not even there, or we assumed that we see what's there.
Right.
Because see, what your past did to you looks similar to him,
right?
But it just looked like him because you don't even know who he is.
Yeah, you don't even know.
So now you
what my past did to me.
You coming at him sideways.
Yeah, with yesterday.
With yesterday, you know what I'm saying? And you trying to get to the future, and you still stuck back here.
Let's expound on this right here, quick, guys. One of the most expensive things that you can ever do is pay attention to the wrong person.
Yes, sir. I did it.
Yeah, let's chop that up.
I did.
What if you call yourself getting yourself a life coach, and there's nothing about them? You don't know where they live. You don't know their lifestyle. You don't know nothing. You're building their lifestyle. You don't know nothing about them. They know everything about you. I like the nosy approach that you said, Kev. They know everything about you, and to where you can't breathe without calling to check in with them. That ain't coaching. That's dictatorship.
Right.
That's something else.
Now that's true.
That's
Tiffany,
abuse.
I'm gonna kind of let you in on some of my history.
That's abuse.
I had a guy that was supposedly helping me, kind of coaching me through some issues I had, with an ex. A lot of people know the history, of me and my ex and things like that. But so listening to them, I end up homeless.
Oh, wow.
No, real
broke,
talk. Real talk.
Walking.
Wow.
Broke down.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And I'm sitting here and I'm trying to figure this thing out. And I'm like, man, I know I'm smarter than this.
Yeah.
I know I am. And so when I took it upon myself to say, you know what, God?
Yeah.
If they ain't coming from you, they can't come to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, what about the people that ain't strong enough to do that?
But so that's my thing.
Yeah, what about the people that ain't strong enough to catch themselves?
So my first question would be, based on what he just told me, I already know right off the gate that is not an issue for a life coach to be dealing with.
Absolutely. No.
Right. So I would have never even
But guess what? In my desperation,
right.
in people's desperation,
Right.
they ain't checking resumes.
Oh, yeah, I know.
They not checking resumes.
Trust me, I know.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, trust me, I know.
That's what I'm saying. They ain't checking nothing. They going off of the fact that, you sound good. You know what I'm saying? And it sounds better than what they're hearing in their own head.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Watch this, though. Is it true that we should stop allowing people that are spiritually dead to mentor and speak into our lives? They can only lead us further in the direction we're already going.
Absolutely. I mean,
You're spiritually dead, and wait a minute. I'm trying to do God and a life coach, but my life coach don't believe in God. Oh, y'all need to give me something.
I know. I'm kind of just processing that because that has a lot of different.
We get.
I try to give you a second.
Yeah, go ahead. You can. There's a lot of different layers to it. So I'll let you go first.
All right. So here's where we have to understand where this thing really is, right? there is some satanic
pimping, going on.
This is the new. I call it the new pimping.
It's the new pimping.
It's the new pimping.
It's the new pimping.
That's right. It's the new pimping.
You just ain't got nobody on the corner. You just got them at your conference.
See, that's right. You can see.
Come on, I'm gonna hashtag that. They ain't on the corner. They at your conference. Pimping.
So you can see that coach. That coach is tangible. Mm-hmm. See, the thing with us as Christians is faith. Mm-hmm. Without our faith, we're absolutely nothing.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? And so to believe that God is going to do a thing is going to require faith. But see, when we're going through stuff and God is not immediately giving us answers, we don't first think to know that this is a test and the teacher doesn't talk to you during a test. But don't make me preach on this.
Let's walk.
Right.
So you want somebody who's going to cheat and give you the answer. Or supposedly give you the answer, and they don't even know your test ain't even the same test they got.
Come on, man.
It ain't even the same test they got. So they giving you answers, leading you all wrong. You still
they giving you answers to their test.
To their test.
That they ain't passed.
They ain't, you know.
Yeah.
So that's
give us some feedback, Tiffany.
Yeah. So
are we coming at you too strong? We bombard you?
You're actually not. But I mean, all of these examples is still just there is the gray area there with the life coaching and the counseling, and I just think that in all of those scenarios, it crosses that barrier.
Okay.
So I mean that's what I see just from all of the examples.
So when people cross it, what happens when it is crossed and the person's not doesn't have the integrity to say, I can't take you further in this area. I can only help you with this. Mm-hmm. That's where the danger comes in at.
Okay, so the first problem with that is when you first meet a client, you're supposed to be laying your ethics before them. You need to tell them what you're going to help them do.
See, that's trained.
Right.
See, that's trained. Both y'all saying that too.
And so
that's trained.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. If that is already established up front.
Then it's a signed agreement.
Correct.
Come on
So
now.
then you don't have to explain that on the back end if you let them know that up front.
Come on now.
But I know what you're saying that does not happen.
See, and what not only does it not happen, it doesn't happen because they don't know.
Right.
Because see, if you don't go through this process of knowing what to identify to your client before you even open your mouth.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying? The legalities of it.
That's correct.
The thing that I think, it's just me, I think that you ought to be able to sue folk.
Wow.
Huh?
Wow.
Who mislead you.
Wow.
So see, that's the gray area because you're not a coach, you're not licensed, you're not certified, then what do
What's
you know?
The fallback?
Right.
What's the fallback for the advice you
because legally a judge can just say, if I told you to jump off a bridge, would you do it?
Correct.
That type of thing.
That's
you
right.
see what I'm saying? And so that's just where it's at. I know I get frustrated with it because, you know, I love people.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sold out to giving. I sow the flow, all of that. But when I see people being misled, and I got two hands that's full, mm-hmm. and I can't grab this brother. See, that's what bothers me. You know what I'm saying? You know, you see this sister who went through all of this, and then she's in this cultish situation mm-hmm. with this so-called coach mm-hmm. that's telling her, well, you know, if this job is keeping you from coming to the conferences, then you might need to find something else, or you know, or you can't see that. Yeah. Or don't. No, I'm telling you now.
Right.
I can take. You know what? It is. We have a distinction about ourselves, and we all wear stilettos, and we do this, and we all drive this and drive that. But like Dre was saying, you know, what's she driving? Y'all need to stop looking at these leased rented cars that these folk driving for the day to make it seem like they balling for you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Or check this out. They got a Mercedes. You know why? Because y'all pay for it.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm saying, though. You know, the dangerous thing is, as I watch some of this stuff that is actually happening, I think the part that frustrates me most is it's almost like, you know, one, the preacher gets a bum deal because the truth of the matter is some not ministering the word of God, some are manipulating people,
right.
some are cultic in the aspect. But what the enemy has done, in my mindset, is snatched people that are sincere about bettering themselves and pull them into another lane of socialism or emotionalism. Get the stuff, get like me, get the bags, get the red bottoms, get the, it's another form of, I think for me, I think it's another form of that, prosperity type thing. Because, everybody's got you working towards, being great, but the person that's pulling so hard to make you great isn't great within their own eyesight. So
you pose an answer and a question for me with that, because one of those hooks for women, and I always call it hooks, is that person who says your life is not great enough as it is.
Yeah.
Right? So, I got to work on you for you to become all you can be.
Yeah, I got to work on you.
Right. We gotta get you to a certain level, because see, your husband, the level he's on, he's not going to push you to that other level, and so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? And so,
see, you stepped over into feminism too.
Well,
it's another piece of it.
That's a lot in there.
No, but it's another piece.
Right.
And as alpha men, it's easy to project it. It's easy to see, like, because it's like the game that we played is being played on women by women.
Right.
And we know the game.
And so it's the same thing as lesbianism.
Okay.
The very same thing, because that. They're usually talked into it by somebody.
Come on.
You see what I'm saying? And so they're being led by somebody who embraces that particular lifestyle. And so it's the same thing.
That's a strong statement, but there's some accuracy to that statement. Anything. I don't want to just accentuate lesbianism.
Sure.
It's anything that can pull you into a persuasive mode. The mouthpiece is always that tool to pull you into a persuasive mode that you wouldn't otherwise do.
Right.
Can I say that?
Right.
All right.
Okay, so just to balance this now, so do you guys agree that there are some effective life coaches that are out there?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want the audience to leave thinking that it's a totally bad.
No, I named off the rip those that I knew was getting down with the get down. You know what I'm saying? I named that right off the rip. Those that I knew was popping. You know what I'm saying? So no, there are some that's legit.
Oh,
that even post their training. They show you their license, their certification. They do come to you with the ethics of the business to let you know this is what I'll do.
This is what
this is not what I do. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And then they come and then you sign an agreement that I won't go beyond this sphere, and you won't ask me to go beyond this sphere. And if I do, I violated our code of ethics, and you can discontinue your contract that you had for 6 months with me to a year. You're free to move about the country.
Now, one of my favorite, but she's a minister as well. But she is, I don't even know if you even call it life coach, but I do, is Stephanie Kirkland. She has IPOM, which is, my wife went through that in pursuit of me, right?
Okay. IPOM. Okay.
And so she is a powerful sister. Matter of fact, the first time I met her, she and her husband was doing a marriage conference in Charlotte. And so me and my wife went out there. And that's when I met them. We went out to eat. So I got to know them just listening to them, because they listen to me and some of those things. And so when you have somebody who balances this with the word, it puts them in a whole different category, because they're trying to heal you from a lot of different perspectives. But when it comes to that piece where you need that professional help, you've got help in those other parts already. So when they, when they lead you to that person that gets you that professional help, then, it kind of completes it. The wholeness steps in at that particular point. But she's that kind of honest person to say, we can go through this, and this. But then, now it's time to, to move you forward. And so, that's interesting, because she's solid. I've seen her in action.
Yeah. And I think what's also effective is when you're working with anybody. My question is, how can I help you?
Right.
Because I need to know, what are you looking for from me?
Right.
So it is not my role as a therapist or anything else to define your end. And I think that's another mistake. And Kevin kept alluding to that. You kind of mapping people's life out from that point to the end. And that is not the point of coaching. You can help them get from where they are to where they desire to be.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Mm-hmm. That's right. Now that's real. That's and so it's I think what's the sister, she used to always be at events when you and I were doing thing with Trey, Angela Patterson. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, those folks who know their limit. Mm-hmm. And I know that she knows her limit. I know her personally. I know when she stops and say, look, I got to get off this stop. Okay. You got to get off here. Mm-hmm. This is what you need. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't have that. And so, you know, there are a couple of people that are in our circles that we know that are legitimate.
We've got down with them.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But then again, it's not all those folks. I can tell you, it's not all about money. Mm-hmm. It's all about, you know, building people up and getting them where they need to be. So, but yeah, I'm not going to tell you a lie. It is tough for me to see sometimes, especially these fellas.
I've seen too many wreck them. I've seen too many drive them right off a cliff and wreck them.
Oh man, just ruin them. Just done,
and then blame them.
Yeah,
you know, and say, well, you didn't follow the steps that I gave you.
You didn't fully embrace the program. Mm-hmm. This foolishness.
Yeah. So I've seen. So as we I guess turn the corner in some type of conclusion of today's show, we do want to accentuate that no, we're not saying that life coaches are there are no good life coaches. I dare not say that. I'm not even qualified to make that statement. I've just seen personally more do damage than good. Mm-hmm. In the ones that I've seen, you know, there are some that are solid as all get out, and I would back their business. Like Aaron, hands down, man. I back him. I recommend him. You know what I'm saying? And he's spiritual. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
he's spiritual. He's professionally trained, and you know, and he knows the balance. You know what I'm saying? And the young lady Tiffany. I know her. I work with her. I've seen her get down. Angela Carr Patterson. I've seen them get down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And, but I've also seen, you know, some people take it and abuse their authority. You know, you controlling people's lives and you telling people all the things they need to do, and you have the persona of this excellence, but you're not excellent. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the thing that gets me. You know, I even when I minister, I let people know I ain't apprehended that which I'm teaching you. I'm trying to catch what's caught me. Right. I think it makes it easier for them to follow me. That's it makes it easier for them to get down with me or hear me because I am not claiming to be, and I know where I need to get off and what I can and cannot do. Right. I think we come to a place and time in life, man, where you got to be able to discern and snuff out this stuff that's being, you know, pimped into your system, your spiritual system, your social, your emotions. You know, we need a purging, right? Because we're so busy trying to get it another way and not get it God's way. There's very practical methods in God's word, and for those that don't believe God's word, you know, when you getting counsel from other people, they still got to be balanced in that.
Right.
Well, we got to be honest enough to, and this is something I tell people all the time, is that I have to be transparent.
Yeah, that's the only way we can get down.
Yeah, because you won't understand where I'm coming from if I can't tell you about me. Right. I can't help you until you understand where I'm coming from. Mm-hmm. The second thing, and Dre said something about this earlier, is these folks who are recruiting people to mentor people. Let me explain to them this process. You don't choose mentees. Mentees choose you.
No, come here now.
That is correct.
No, that's absolutely correct.
They choose you.
You holding this festival of whatever to get people to listen.
Up.
That's foolishness.
That's cute.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. That's not the truth, because that person has to see in you what they need to get them where they need to go. They don't even know what it is. They don't even know what it is, but their attraction to you is going to get you there. You know, I just had this situation this week, and I was kind of taking a little break from some of the mentees that I had. And so, because all of them are kind of grown now, they're kind of doing their thing a little bit. And so this guy reaches out to me. He said, look, man, I know this kid that is in a bad situation. He's in poverty. You know, I mean, his parents, they got their thing going on and all of this, and so it really screwed him up. And he said, you know, we know what you do, So I need to be able to get him in contact with you. So, okay. He said, here's his number. Call him. I said, no, don't work like that.
No. See, Kev, you and I never talked about this. Even in the church, even here, Word of God, I don't call nobody.
No.
And give you my card. I give you the parent my
That's
card.
right.
I give. If the kid reaches out, if y'all call me, you invited me in.
Right.
You know, I got a cousin that got a niece that got him. Would you just call them? Damn, them people ain't invite me into their world.
You definitely have to be ready.
No, man.
No. It's just like our submission to our man of God. See, when our man of God come to us and tell, hey, look, boy, you ain't doing something right. I need you to sit down. See, you giving him access to you.
Yeah, that's
right?
it.
You need to sit down.
That's it.
Listen to and be in order. And so when it comes to so the kid called me. Okay. Like maybe 2 weeks after that.
That's different.
Right? So now I told him, listen, you sure? I went down the line of this is what I expect, this is what I do, this is what I don't allow.
Set the expectation.
So you tell me, you call me back if you can deal with this. And he didn't even hang up the phone. He said, I need help and I need you to help me because I can't, I've tried it.
That's good.
I've tried it. You know what I'm saying? And so even though I'm turning my life around, I'm working hard in school, it's something is not together. And so, all right, as long as you understand, I don't do cussing, I don't do drinking, I don't do smoking, I don't do babies.
Setting expectations.
All that. You know what I'm saying? I don't do all of that because see, none of that's cool. None of that's cool. And so, so now we got a solid plan going, but that's what I'm talking about because I told you, coaching is essentially mentoring, and mentoring essentially coaching.
Right.
But it still has to be an opportunity for a two-way street.
Right.
Right. But it has to be introduced one way.
Got you.
It can't be introduced both ways. Even though I know I can help you, that's not my job to come into your life and say, all right, man, this is what we're doing now.
Wait a minute, and I'm coming to save you.
Right. No, that's not how that works.
Permission to do that?
No, absolutely not.
Well, what we're going to do, man, as we prepare to wrap up the show, man, if you guys got any closing comments, man, I want you guys to go ahead and share what's on your heart, man. I really appreciate you guys for being here today. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules as well. Tiff, you do some of everything. A lot of people don't even know what you do, child. But, everybody, I guess, look at you as the event coordinator, planner, but don't know
that's
that
all most people know.
Don't know you're a clinician. Don't know you trained in this. Don't know you was a life coach. Don't know you speak, host conferences, and all kind of stuff.
Right.
But, if you have any closing comments, go ahead and share what you like, please.
Yeah, so the only thing I would say, don't want anybody to be afraid to reach out if you still need someone to assist you with your goals and stuff in life. But as we stated, make sure when you approach that person, there are key things you need to ask them, you need to be aware of. You need to know what their policies are, what they stand for, what the boundaries are. And please know that if they try to move forward into an area such as anything that looks like they're trying to assess you mentally or anything like that, that is crossing the boundary for a coaching situation. And if that is your need, please seek a clinician or a counselor, psychologist, psychiatrist, if you certainly have those needs. And also to the life coach, I know that there are some of you out there that are just awesome or called to that work. Please make sure that integrity is your key up front when dealing with people. Make sure you have integrity. Make sure you have passion. Make sure you have the ability to listen. I see a lot of coaches, they don't listen. And just real quick, it's funny. Like if I'm in one of my moods and I'll walk up to somebody or they'll see me, and of course I'm generally a happy person, so somebody knows when something's wrong with Tiffany.
Right.
And it's funny. Like some people will come up to you and they'll just start talking and telling you, "Oh, don't worry about this and that," and you're looking like that is not even what's wrong with me.
That's right.
Okay. So first of all, you need to listen and understand what is going on with me. Now I do know that some people have a high sense of discernment.
Right.
So in those cases, some people are accurate in their approach, but in most cases, you need to listen and know what your client needs. Once you know what that need is, you know whether or not you refer them or you need to refer them out.
And have courage to refer.
That's right.
Have the courage to refer.
That's right.
Go ahead, Kev.
We need to respect boundaries. And so people's lives, there are boundaries around that, and there are gates there. And we do not have the right to just go knock that fence down because we want a wrought iron and they got up a wood fence. And that's essentially what we do to people's lives when we bogart it. we go in, we change everything about it before we fully know how to assess it. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
And so all I say is there are some of us out here who have a handful of carnage from people, masquerading as what people need. And so I think that we need to be real. We need to care enough about people to not, always throw our needs at them, because a lot of times that's what happens. Then you got to get paid. They got to do this. They got to do that. And so if we just be honest, be transparent with people, to be honest, all of us are coaches in a sense, right?
No, yeah.
And so, but
in some area,
right? Yeah. But we in that area is where we're the coach.
Yes, and that's where you got to be secure.
You see what I'm saying? And
right.
So there's something there that's amazing. And when we talk about the men life coaches, right? It's amazing to me. It's amazing to me how they are the mentors and life coaches, and they never been a woman.
That's the strain of it.
It's amazing to me. They can't talk to brothers, but they got a room full of women that they're coaching.
But can't talk to men.
Can't talk to men.
Actually, claim that men are threatened by them and they don't want to talk to him. I ain't got to talk to no man.
It's always the reverse.
God.
When if they ever put it to you that way, it's the reverse.
Right.
Right? Because, men.
They intimidate game people.
Game, recognize game.
Game straight off the rip. Real talk. Real talk.
So let's be honest in who we are.
Yes.
These are perilous times. And so, some people, they can't come back as easy. You know what I'm saying? When they're being led the wrong way.
Especially when you have so much undiagnosed mental illness.
Right.
Oh, yes.
We have so much, misdiagnosed or undiagnosed mental illness in our communities.
Yeah.
People's minds are failing them for fear.
Right.
And so they're hoping for a better way out. And then here a person comes. And I think it gives me a greater appreciation for ministry and the fact that I'm speaking into people's lives. That's why even when I minister, the words I minister, I try to minister in a way where you will never forget it, that it can stick to you. And I even use some of my own shortcomings and some of my own battles, in the context of that word to bring the word to life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think, as we're in this time and season, you got to be careful how you handle people.
Oh, man.
I agree.
Yeah, because you'll mishandle the wrong person and they snap on you,
Yeah, they not everybody ain't gonna just walk off that bridge.
That's right.
They coming to you.
Oh, yeah.
They coming to you.
But stalk you.
Right. And so, but like Dre was just saying in my last words is that people always think, man, I need your advice on such and such and so. And I still don't think people have realized I've never given anybody advice.
There you go.
Right.
I've never given anybody advice. I always say, well, let me tell you about me.
Let me tell you how I did it.
Let me tell you how I did this and what I probably should have done.
Right.
I just give you examples of what may happen or what you may see. I never venture into you need to do this.
There you go.
Unless you in my arena. If you're in business,
then
I'm telling you facts.
There you go.
Because that's what I'm trained to do. But other than that, when it comes to somebody's life, I don't care who they are. This brother right here, I love him. I like the blood that go through my veins. But I'm never, even if I see something wrong, I would never tell him what he should or shouldn't do. I'll just give him an example of what I think.
But he'll talk to me. He'll talk to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's good to have. I mean, because even in that regard, because I said, I don't know too many men life coaches. See, this is what I want to close with. I don't know too many men life coaches. I just have friends.
Right.
Why can't you just be a friend?
Just be a friend. Why you gotta get paid,
help somebody?
Bro?
I'm just saying though.
Just cook something.
Why can't you just be
talk.
my friend? I think our friendship turned into a business relationship because you want to make money off of me needing you.
Right.
That's the thing.
That's foul.
That's the thing that gets me.
That's foul.
Why can't we just be friends? You know what I'm saying? Why can't you just give me some of the time that I need just to talk to me as a human being. I don't need you for life. I don't need you for a year, really.
Right.
You make me enter into that contract with you for a year, but I really don't need you for a year.
That's right.
I need somebody to let me just, bounce and vibe a little bit off of and let it crack. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then in my talking, I'm going to discover what I need to do. And then if you give me the examples of what you've done and the things that, I can take notes.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It happens all the time. When I'm talking to Bishop Davis, it happens all the time. Then I be saying, say that again. Because I value what he's saying, and I've seen him be successful at what I'm trying to do. Right. So when he's dropping these principles, we eating.
Wow.
We on our way out of here, man. We thank you guys for joining in. This was Rev Dre, and with my guests Tiffany Singleton and Kevin Rasberry. Today's show was, are you a life coach or are you life encroaching? It's the real deal, man. Feel free to think freely. I'm just saying, Dre, until next time, we'll see you. We up out of here. Deuces.
All right. Enjoyed it. Thanks.
You keep looking in the stands at your girlfriend. It's that new swag,